Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my monthly music series where I break down what I've been listening to over the past month. I'm going to be focusing on September, obviously, in this series. What I'll do is I'll talk about some albums that I've listened to for the first time, and to fit under that criteria, it has to be an album that is over a year old. I don't talk about new albums being listened to for the first time because I've obviously just listened to them for the first time. So I'm just going to talk about a few albums here, let you know what I'm listening to the most and all that good stuff. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, like the video, all that good stuff. It really helps me out. Uh, I'll say that in the month of September, I didn't listen to as much music as I normally listen to. Only 42 total albums this past month. I had gotten really sick, and I'm thankfully on the mend for that. I'm all good. But with that, I didn't feel like listening to music. I just wanted to lay on my couch and watch TV. So um, not as much stuff, but still a lot of stuff here to show you. So I'm gonna start with the most listened to artist that I spun in September. For number three. It's number three because number two is tied with two different artists. But Liam Gallagher. Liam Gallagher was the lead singer of Oasis. Uh, Great Britpop singer. He's been very prolific in the last couple of years. Has really put out a lot of good material. And this is an album called Down the River Thames that he recorded during COVID. Him and his band were on a barge and they went down the Thames River in London and did a full set of Oasis songs and solo stuff. Again, number two is tied. My buddy Rich Strickler got me America, this box set, so I've been listening to the first five albums. All really good albums. Again, these were also all albums that I listened to for the first time, as was the Liam Gallagher. I'd never listened to these albums all the way through. The debut, America, classic. It's got hits on it like Sandman, Horse with No Name, I Need You, and then Rainy Day. So it's just you know great vocal harmonies and that sort of thing. Homecoming is the second album. Really good. Ventura Highway is on here. Don't Cross the River. Only in Your Heart. Just all those hits. Hat Trick was a little bit slower for me with the song Muskrat Love. It's never been one of my favorites. And then not much else really stuck out to me on that. Holiday, the fourth album, you have Tin Man, Lonely People, and What Does It Matter? I knew that one. That's produced by George Martin of Beatles fame. And then their fifth album called Hearts, you have Daisy Jane, Woman Tonight, Sister Golden Hair. So really great stuff. I appreciate it, Rich. Again, also tied for number two, The Head and the Heart. This is an album I don't show that often. This is their second album called Let's Be Still. Of course, I saw The Head and the Heart last month, so I was really, getting geared up to see them. So I was pumping away listening to their music. So obviously, I listened to quite a bit of it. Really great album. It's the second and last full-length album with Josiah Johnson, the co-lead singer, who unfortunately left the band after the third album due to some addiction that he was having. And most listened to artist this month was John Prine, and this is an album I've never listened to before until this past month. I forgot to show it in my monthly finds video, but this is For Better or Worse. It was essentially the follow-up to In Spite of Ourselves, only it came, 20 plus years later. It's duets with John Prine and a lot of his favorite female artists. You have Susan Tedeschi, Alison Krauss, Iris DeMent, Kathy Mattea, Amanda Shires, Miranda Lambert, Casey Musgraves, and his wife Fiona as well. Really great stuff, just classic duets on country songs. So those are my top listened to artists. My most listened to CDs. Again, I didn't have time to really double down on a lot of CDs, so I listened to a lot of albums just a couple of times, and some of them are albums that I've shown you 100 times. So I'm going to show you three that I haven't shown you, and yeah, just to show you. So these are all tied. They're all the same number of times. I've got Not Fade Away by Buddy Holly. Well, not by Buddy Holly. It's a Buddy Holly tribute. Came out in 1996. Great version of Crying, Waiting, Hoping on here by Marty Stewart and Steve Earle. You have Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. You have Waylon Jennings with Mark Knopfler. You have a an old vocal take of Peggy Sue Got Married by Buddy Holly, but it's a new instrumentation by the Hollies. So really, really great. I've really been enjoying that. Again, to bring it back to Liam Gallagher, I've really enjoyed this album as well. I'd never listened to it until this year. This is his MTV Unplugged. It came out in 2020. Again, you've got Oasis songs on here. Some might say Stand By Me, Cast No Shadow, Champagne Supernova, and then a bunch of solo stuff. But it's just fantastic Britpop with an acoustic tinge to it. And then Glenn Calloway, again, you need to get this. This is Hell on Church Street by the Punch Brothers. I've been listening to this a little bit in the last month. It's the Punch Brothers doing Tony Rice's album, Church Street Blues, in its entirety. And yeah, it's really, really great acoustic music. All right, and now for my first time spins. These are albums that I've never listened to up until last month. The Beatles, Live at the BBC, Volume 1. This is from 62 to 65. Yeah, just some really, really, really great takes from the Beatles at the BBC. Y'all have seen this in the wild, so I won't talk about it, but I've really enjoyed it. Liam Gallagher, again, this is his debut solo album, As You Were. It's fantastic. Again, his voice is so good. Wall of Glass is on here. For What It's Worth, it's a great song. I've All I Need, Paper Crown. Just check it out. If you like Oasis, you would love that. Again, a couple more Buddy Holly tribute albums that I bought in the last month. Rave On, Buddy Holly. You can see all the artists there. I won't go into it. Really good. Really weird version of It's So Easy by Paul McCartney. It's probably not one of my favorites. And then you have Listen to Me, the best about the music of Buddy Holly. This is better than the other one. You've got a great version of Not Fade Away by Stevie Nicks. Listen to Me by Brian Wilson. It's fantastic. True Love Ways, beautifully sung by Jackson Browne. Ringo doing Think It Over. It's So Easy by Zooey Deschanel. Just really, 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 really fun. So get it if you can. Next, Together Through Life. I talked about this in my other video, Bob Dylan. I've never listened to this. As big of a Dylan fan as I am. And I really, really like it. Tex-Mex, Later Day Dylan album, 2009. Highly recommend it. Together Through Life. A bunch of John Prine albums that I got at a good sale. Standard Songs for Average People with Mac Wiseman. It's Mac Wiseman and John Prine doing a bunch of country songs and some gospel tunes. Really, really enjoyed that. A Later Day John Prine album. Lost Dogs and Mixed Blessings. Not one of my favorite Prine albums, but still some good stuff on there, like Lake Marie, Humidity Built the Snowman, All the Way with You, This Love Is Real. You're always going to find gems on John Prine albums. John Prine Live, this is just essentially mostly Prine on acoustic guitar live, but also a few with the band. Just great. Really enjoyed it. Live on Tour, this is good too. It focuses on his later 80s output with a couple of older tunes as well, but it's also got 3 originals that were put on this album that were never released before. So that was really good to spin that. And then I've never heard this before either. The Singing Mailman delivers some solo studio recordings of his first few songs on this album, and then a live performance which came out before his actual debut. So some really, really great stuff of like listening to Prine in the club in Chicago. Next, King of America by Elvis Costello. My buddy Larry Graves sent this to me a while ago through Glenn Calloway when he came down to visit. And I just now got around to spinning it and absolutely loved it. It's like Americana Elvis Costello. He has a great version of Indoor Fireworks, which I knew from Nick Lowe. And Eisenhower Blues is good. Brilliant Mistake, the opener. Just really, really good. Thanks again, Larry. Another Larry Graves related item. I bought this from Larry about a month ago. It's Too Late to Stop Now Van's classic live album from 1974. I mean, just killer. Van Morrison this time was just on top of his game. St. Dominic's Preview, Caravan, Gloria, Warm Love, just hit after hit after hit. And then just the deep cuts are beautiful too. And then lastly, Thanks Again, Dad, Elton John, 11/17/70. This is liable to go down as one of my favorite live albums ever. The epic 18-minute version of Burn Down the Mission. He does a cover of Honky Tonk Women by the Rolling Stones, but beautiful version of Take Me to the Pilot, just so good. And Marina is fantastic. Just trio with Nigel Olsson and Dee Murray. Just Elton raw, unaltered yet by the fame that would hit him with his costumes and everything like that. So anyway, that's what I've been spinning in September. Let me know what you think. I look forward to hearing from y'all in the comments. In the meantime, y'all be good. Take care. Talk to y'all real soon. Bye now.